very well.
The ruling comes one day before Super Tuesday, and it likely ends any similar cases in other states. Former Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg pleaded guilty today to perjury for his testimony in Mr. Trump's New York civil fraud trial. Jack Texera, sentenced to 16 years in prison. The former Massachusetts Air National Guardsman pleaded guilty to posting classified military secrets online. The European Union fining Apple $2 billion, accusing it of breaking the country's antitrust laws. This is ABC News.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Listen, you can't handle the truth.
It's about to go off.
Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Throw me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Monday afternoon to you, and yes, it is time for the McFarland Show. Darren and Justin here live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. DJ Damon is alongside the group, the gang, whatever you want to call us. The McFarland Show is back together again.
Hey, hey.
Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody had some enjoyed your much needed time off.
Yeah.
Damon's come back with a suntan.
And a belly full of Ponderosa.
And he went to Ponderosa. He informed us that he ate at Ponderosa.
Found the last one on Earth.
In Florida. And that did jar a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when there was that one Blockbuster video that was still open in the U.S.?
Yes.
I think it was out in Oregon.
Somewhere out west.
Or Alaska.
I can't remember. It's somewhere out west, though.
Well, I think it's officially closed. I think they're all officially closed now.
I think you're right.
But that was like the last standing Blockbuster video.
Yes.
And so we were just kind of talking about, like, maybe that was the last standing Ponderosa. And I was trying to think of the burger joint. And I told, because Damon and his wife were down in Orlando, I said the last time we were in Orlando, we ate at that burger joint, and I could not think of the name of it, that used to be all over Nashville and was fantastic back in the day.
Yes.
But they've all gone away, and I suspected, I thought that all of them were gone in the country. Well, we found one in Orlando, And just for nostalgia purposes, we're like, hey, let's eat there. That would be cool. And it was actually really nice, and it was great. And it brought back fond memories of when I used to go to this place in Nashville, but none of us could think of it. So I went into Ted Johnson's office and said, the burger joint used to be here, da-da-da-da-da. He goes, Fuddruckers. I was like, that's it.
I'm sorry, real quick. You said Ted Johnson. You forgot to say Nashville historian.
Yeah.
Ted Johnson.
That's why I went in his office.
Yes, Nashville historian.
And
Ted
he
Johnson.
quickly said, Fuddruckers. And I said, that's it. Fuddruckers.
Isn't it amazing that he knew that just instantly?
I have met few people who know more about Nashville than Ted Johnson does. Few people.
Mm-hmm.
I've met a lot of people.
Just a few.
Few people. He's on the short list. The other people actually get paid to be historians. Those are the people ahead of him. The people ahead of him are people who get paid to be historians.
And how about Planet Hollywood? You remember that?
Yeah.
Wow, it was out there.
So maybe Orlando is the city where that's the last stop
last thing.
for all businesses that are getting ready to go away. They still have the one open in Orlando.
That's right. For the time being.
It's nostalgia.
Is there a Kmart
nostalgia city
in Orlando?
I bet you there is.
It probably is. I didn't get that far around.
If you look around, I'm sure you'll find a Kmart.
But that Ponderosa, woo,
Kmart
brought back memories.
And a Woolworths.
Woolworths.
He said Woolworths. I didn't see that, Justin.
Man, you
if
didn't
I
look
saw
hard.
that album going there,
You
I
didn't
would
look
be
hard
going.
enough. That's
Did
why.
you find a cooker down in Orlando?
No, but there was a place called the Sizzler. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Man, I guess Orlando is the place where that is the place where. Were you sure you weren't at Universal Studios and they've just turned into the Last Stop?
No.
They've got an area called the Last Stop.
I did go to Universal Studios and saw Marilyn Monroe. She was standing outside. She's back.
All right.
Yeah.
Standing over the vent.
Pretty much.
that seems to be the way it is down there.
A lot of stuff going on. So let's get to it. Let's start with Jason Kelce today. I watched a little bit of his press conference. He officially retired today. And the 6-time All-Pro. It was cool. I was just listening to a bunch of stuff that he was saying. He was very emotional. But I think he's the guy who's going to end up in Canton, right? I mean, I don't think there's any doubt.
Probably.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not deserving at all.
Sure.
I'm saying that he was well known.
He was
well liked.
Yes.
And that only helps you. It certainly doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
And again, 6-time All-Pro.
Nice.
Not Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
All-Pro.
One of the best.
That's voted on by your peers. That's not by the fans.
Also, he's relevant. So he's not going to fade thanks to the popularity of his brother, especially.
Well, and their podcast.
And their podcast. He's somebody that's going to be relevant in the sport of football for years to come, even after his retirement. So I would suspect at some point he'll be in Canton. Yeah, without question. And that's going to be cool because, the Manning brothers will probably be there now. The Kelce's will be there. So the NFL's got a couple of cool storylines coming up here before long.
No doubt about it. Vince Ferrara will join us to begin the second hour of the program. The Combine has wrapped up in Indianapolis, and it looks like, and we'll talk to Vince about this, that maybe running back Jalen Wright maybe helped make himself some money at the Combine. He's one of those, air quotes, draft risers.
Shooting up the ranks.
If you believe what you read.
Shooting up the ranks.
Yeah.
So good for him.
He didn't hurt himself. How about that?
That's very good. That's very good.
I did see out there that there is some scuttlebutt saying that the Titans could be targeting a wide receiver. By the way, free agency about to begin, just around the corner, and they may be targeting a wide receiver. That wide receiver's name is not Mike Evans, because Mike Evans just signed a new 2-year deal with the Bucs.
Yeah, he's going to stay there.
$52 million, 35 of it guaranteed.
Age 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's good to be Mike Evans.
That is appreciation there.
That's what happens when. By the way, speaking of Canton, there's a guy who's going to be in Canton.
He's going to
one day.
Canton as well. Yes, he
will
is.
definitely go to Canton.
Yes, he is.
Mike Evans signs a 2-year deal with the Bucs, so who knows? Maybe he ends up playing his entire career with one organization. That's a rare thing these days. But the wide receiver's name that I'm looking for is not Mike Evans. But from what I've seen out there, the scuttlebutts from rumor mills is that the Titans may be targeting Bears wide receiver Darnell Mooney.
Ah, well, if they wanted speed, that's what he has. Production,
mixed bag.
Yeah, but his specialty is he runs fast. So Darnell Mooney is a guy that, Darren, you know, we've talked about this, and we will continue to do so, who would have not been here at all under the last regime. He just wouldn't have been here. He's not the run block guy. He's not, Mr. Tough guy in the middle. I mean, he's just not what the old regime. And when I say regime, I don't mean Mike Vrabel. I mean the previous 25 years of Titans football. Mike, Darnell Mooney doesn't fit that. But if we want to go with the new, this could be a sample of what the new could be. So we'll see if that happens. Something else I've heard over the weekend, our good friend Justin Mello, he was on one of his podcasts. He was mentioning, Darren, that he believes he's identified at least one of the possibilities of backup quarterback for the Titans as well. If you're interested in that, if you heard this.
I have not.
How about A.J. McCarron's, who was just released by the Bengals a couple of days ago, and, of course, has a lot of familiarity with whatever it is that Brian Callahan is going to run after spending multiple years being a backup there in Cincinnati. I think he even played in the XFL, or
I think he did,
or played for St. Louis or one of them.
No, I think he was didn't he win it?
Either he won it or he was the MVP or something.
Yeah,
he did very well.
He did
there, and did very well in college. Has not been a productive NFL quarterback, but then again, really hasn't played a whole lot in the NFL either. Here and there, some spot duty. But he mentioned him as one of the people who possibly could be a backup quarterback here. And we talked about it last week. Who's somebody, a veteran who can come in, but not going to overshadow Will Levis? Well, A.J. McCarron fits that to a T. No one is going to mistake A.J. McCarron for the starter for this football team at all. Will Levis is not going to have to check his rear view because A.J. McCarron is rising. That's not going to happen.
He played for the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yeah.
Last season, along with the Bengals.
Yeah.
And currently, I guess, is still on the Battlehawks roster. Guys just bounced around. Obviously, spent
most
3
of
years.
Most of his time in Cincinnati.
I don't think. I guess other than last season, I don't think his first go around, because that's who the Bengals. Remember, they drafted him in the 5th round.
Yeah.
I don't think Brian Callahan was with them. This was pre-Brian Callahan. But, of course, he was on their roster last season, so he was around.
I guess he was with the Texans before then.
He was with the Texans for a couple years.
Yeah.
Then he was with the Falcons, and then he played. I
lost him.
He spent a season with the Falcons. Yep.
Okay, I lost him with the Falcons. Sorry, I didn't know that.
But I mean, I was probably referring to somebody with a little bit more experience.
He just mentioned it as a possibility. He didn't say it was going to be him.
He's only played in 19 games in the NFL. So
he didn't say it was going to be him. He just mentioned it as somebody who's out there, available, and would probably know whatever it is that Brian Callahan is putting together, like off the bat. So I found that interesting.
Yeah, don't hate it, don't love it. It's just kind of, intriguing.
But there'll be more names that will pop up for sure. I'm sure it just won't be A.J. McCarron. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other names that will pop up. But that's an interesting one.
It is.
Recognizable one.
No doubt about it.
To a certain population, anyway.
Couple basketball news and notes. LeBron James becomes the first player to reach 40,000 points in NBA history.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice.
Wow.
What?
You seemed blown away by it.
Yeah. Listen, me and...
That's nice.
Me and...
Good for him.
Me and John Burton will do this properly one day, but, I'm fine. He can score 40,000. Good. I mean, was this something that was unexpected? That him scoring 40,000?
I'd say probably not.
No, I think he was kind of going to do that.
Yeah.
And if he got to 41,000 next week, would that be a real shock? If he got to 41,000, well, maybe not next week, that would be a shock. But if he got to 41,000, next year, would that be? I mean,
probably.
I
think there's a shot that he walks away.
I don't think so.
But maybe not.
I don't think so. I don't think he's ready for that yet. I think he'll play a little bit, maybe another year after this. But I mean, anything that LeBron does at this point is gravy. But I think everybody's opinion on LeBron is pretty settled. Whether you think he's the GOAT or not the GOAT,
it's
he's
not
on
changing.
the GOAT list. Nothing that he does is going to change anybody's mind about him being either the greatest of all time or the second or third greatest of all time. We're kind of settled in on what we think of LeBron, which is unfortunate of him.
Do you think LeBron's going to get to play with his son? That's what he said is one of his goals.
Well, now there's a lot of talk that his son may not be an NBA player at all.
Thank you. Yep.
However, if you're LeBron James' son, I think you can find some summer league or something somewhere that you can be a part of.
Yeah, well, that's what comment was made over the weekend. He's one of his goals is to play with his son. I'm like, have you seen your son play lately?
Listen, is it beyond, and we've talked about a father's love for their son, is it beyond anybody here to think that LeBron James could get some influence on an NBA team somewhere and says, hey, I'm coming as long as you bring my son along with me?
Somewhere? You mean L.A.? Because, he's not playing for another team.
I don't mean L.A. What do you mean he's not playing for another team?
He's not going to play for another team.
Yes, if his son, if you mean playing with his son, I think he would.
No, he's not.
He's not leaving L.A.?
No, he's not gonna jump ship one more time for a year. No. No, he's gonna ride it out.
I disagree with you there. If it means that his son plays on the team with him, I think he'll go where that's a possibility.
So if the Charlotte Bobcats said, yes, we will take your son, he'll go play a year in Charlotte?
I think he might. I think he might. But because I don't think the Lakers are going for that.
Well, he needs to then get with reality. Then.
Yeah, then it may not happen. But
right. I don't even think the Grizzlies are going to go.
I don't think the Lakers are going to go for that.
What if the Grizzlies say they're gonna draft his son? Is he gonna come play for the Grizzlies?
Maybe.
Really, maybe.
Listen, the love of the son. Okay, listen, this dream that you got to do it for half a season.
You can still love your son, even if you don't play with him. You're still allowed to do that.
Got this dream though. The dream he's got.
Well, then you know what? He can buy a franchise.
No, he can't.
And draft his son when he retires.
Yeah.
And he can shoot around with him every day.
No, that's not what he's thinking of.
Maybe his son will get drafted and LeBron will go and just be a backup. Just watch his son play, but just be on the same team.
It depends on how bad he wants this thing to play with his son. I don't know.
Darren, you don't think that's going to happen?
I don't think so. No, probably not. Probably. Do I think he's going to own a franchise? Yes, I do.
Yes, he is.
That's going to happen.
That doesn't mean that he cannot insert himself for a game as the owner, come out of a nice suite.
He'll have to sell the team. There's rules against that. But maybe he can,
for
break
a game?
the rules.
For a game?
There's rules against that. Michael Jordan tried that. They told him he had to sell the team first.
Okay.
He's LeBron James, though.
Then I guess it's not going to ever happen.
If Michael, you telling me, so if Michael can do it, no. If Mike wanted to do it, trust me, they would have allowed him to do it if there wasn't other problems. But no, they told Mike he's got to sell the Wizards before he plays with them. And so that's what he did.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was part owner of the Wizards before he played with them. But he had to sell his stake in the team first.
Yeah, there's a lot of that storyline, by the way, going around about Caleb Williams that we're going to get into, too.
Okay.
Which is really interesting.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Like, apparently Dad is going to mess up. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't mess up son with the draft. It's probably not enough to scare people away, but I'm sure it has a lot of teams going, are we sure we really want to deal with Dad?
I mean.
Because remember, Caleb Williams has not hired an agent.
Okay.
So we'll get into
we'll get into
that.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into that a little bit later.
There's the thing.
By the way, heck of a win down in Tuscaloosa. We'll also talk with that with Vince Ferrara at 3:00. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I did not think Tennessee was going to win that game. I thought that was going to be an extremely difficult game to win, and that was a heck of a win by the Vols. So we'll talk in the second hour with Vince Ferrara about that. We'll come back. There's also, it's hot outside, and there's a hot team in town, too.
There is.
So we'll talk about that as you listen to the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
Hi, I'm Jeff Fisher. Guess what? The Cats are back. The Nashville Cats will be returning to the Municipal Auditorium on April 27th in the season opener against the Minnesota Myth. There will be 5 total games played at Municipal Auditorium, with 1 additional game played up in Clarksville at F&M Bank Arena on Armed Forces Day on Saturday, May 18th. For player or dance team tryouts or tickets, log on to thenashvillecats.com.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times national survey of pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
It's a Bill King Show.
Like I've mentioned, I thought Nick had a good 5 years still left in him. This one comes as a complete shock to me. If I sat here and said, I had a feeling, guys, Nick was trending, I'd be lying. That'd be the host trying to act like he knew something he didn't know. Why would I present that to you? I am shocked. I was taken aback by it.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Predators that started winning when both of you left, and they've continued winning since you've come back.
Maybe you're the common thread then. Maybe you need to stay. As long as you're here, maybe they keep winning. Maybe it has nothing to do with Damon and I.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Okay.
I think it really has a lot to do with Barry Trotz. Because Barry Trotz gambled, and right now he's winning. Because it was a gamble. Again, continue to say it. It doesn't, coaches pull this trick, or in this case, general managers pull this trick in sports. It's been done before. It doesn't always work.
No.
Sometimes, by the way, how many times have you heard about a closed door meeting with players?
All the time.
Does that always mean turn into winning streak? No, it doesn't.
No, it happens almost once a year, as a matter of fact, for most teams.
And it's
after they lose,
it's 50-50 how it's going to go coming out of those player-only meetings.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't always work either.
Not at all.
You can flip tables over and you can peel paint and you can get after each other and keep it real. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it says a lot more about the makeup of the room, really. And they had an interesting test on Saturday afternoon. Well, what was that? A 5:00 start? So afternoon, early evening, whatever 5:00 is on Saturday.
Sure.
And Colorado was in the house, so you knew that wasn't going to be an easy game. But this team, I'll tell you what, it's a good combination. You're going to win a lot of hockey games if you continue scoring at this pace and you continue to play defense at this pace and you continue to get the goaltending at this pace. This winning streak is not going to go away anytime soon as long as they keep playing this way, and they did it yet again. That's now 8 in a row after skating away with another big victory, 6-1?
6-1.
Over Colorado.
Scoring a lot of goals, this team is.
Cody Glass with his first career hat trick.
How about that?
Let's hear what head coach Andrew Burnett had to say after the 8th win in a row.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty special moment. I think he's obviously had an up and down season, and I think, it's fun for the group to be rooting for him as much as they did. And I thought Ryan McDonough made an unbelievable poise play to get him the goal, and kind of was almost like they were more excited than he was. So that's part about being a team. When you're into something special, when everybody's rooting as hard as they are for each other, and they didn't care who got the success night in and night out. And tonight it was Cody's night, and I'm happy for him. I think he wanted the puck, and I think there's nights when Cody demands the puck and he has the puck. I think he's really effective. Obviously a little confidence, especially getting that first goal, I think just kind of rises him. Like a lot of young kids, especially struggle at times this year to get that confidence, and that goal gave him some, and he rode the wave. Now, hopefully he can keep it, but I'm really happy for him. Well, I just like our relentlessness. I think we're connected. We're taking away time and space at a high level right now, and that comes from work ethic, that comes from trust, and that comes from, again, being connected, where we're close and we're all kind of pulling the same rope. We understand where we are and we understand what we're doing, and we're having fun doing it. And I think it's been a great run, well deserved.
Performance in the third period from the team. What is leading to that?
I think a little bit of growth, a little bit of understanding. I think early on we lost a little bit of our composure. Probably weren't connected. A big thing in the third period. I think now that we're starting to get a little confidence, I thought we've dictated instead of letting the other team dictate to us, and I think that's been a big thing. We didn't change our game early in the year. I think at times maybe we did a little bit. And now we have a little bit of the recipe of how to do things the right way, and we're all buying in. Yeah, it's obviously a huge save. At the end of the period, we talk all the time about giving up goals and kind of an unlucky bounce off the wall, and arguably one of the best players in the league, if not the best. And he made a great save, got him upstairs the first time. I don't think Juice was going to let that go twice.
All right. I don't know why it sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher whenever they ask questions, but it's like a mix between Star Wars and Charlie Brown's teacher.
You're in the Star Wars bar all of a sudden.
Couldn't understand the questions at all. So, yeah, we're gonna cut out of that early. Congratulations to Cody Glass, and I know it was an emotional interview on the ice after the game. Standing ovation, a long-standing ovation. I got a chance to know Cody the minute he got here from Vegas. Remember, he was the first ever draft pick by the Vegas Golden Knights. I think the 6th pick overall in the first round.
Nice.
And when he first got here, I sat down with him. He was super excited to be here. He wanted a fresh start. He was kind of tired of the question in Vegas of, being the first ever draft pick, right? He got that question all the time, which, you understand why. Because that's part of their history. That'll always be that. That'll always be the answer to that trivia question, right? Who was the first ever draft pick by the Vegas Golden Knights?
Absolutely.
Answer, Cody Glass.
Cody Glass.
He's a really, really genuine, nice guy. He really is. He's easy to root for. He's just down to earth. And it's been, a little bit rocky and a little bit of a roller coaster ride his entire career because, he, like other athletes, Justin, that we've talked about on this show and over time, look, whether it's fair or not, it doesn't matter. You get drafted high, you get that prestige, you get that title, and you also have to live with that, right? And it never goes away. And again, you can think it's not fair to be labeled, well, maybe you really shouldn't have been drafted that high. It doesn't matter. You were. It's like, Corey Davis. Well, I mean, he really wasn't. It's not his fault he got drafted fifth.
No, it's not.
But he was drafted fifth overall. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be referred to as the fifth overall pick and the first wide receiver taken in the NFL draft. You cannot escape it.
That is correct.
And so he had to live with that. And I'm sure, and I know that drove him crazy too. That, having to deal with that criticism.
He also got paid because of that.
He did. Right. And these guys get paid for that. So, Cody Glass, for most part, has not lived up to that draft pick either. Does that mean he hasn't been good? No. He just hasn't been sixth pick overall good, right? Like Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Did Corey Davis, was he a bum? No.
No, yeah, moments.
He was, he was fine.
Sure.
He was a productive guy. He just wasn't fifth overall productive.
No.
He didn't live up to that standard.
Wasn't Jamar Chase like fifth overall as well? Or something like that?
Right. When you see the guys that go high.
He wasn't that guy.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Those type of guys.
Yeah.
So, and it's quite honestly what Traylon Burks lives with right now. First round pick. He's got that tag. First round pick. Was it third or fifth overall? No. Wasn't top 10, but it was you're a first round pick. And so.
He's got another problem, Traylon Burks does. And that is he's compared to A.J. Brown.
Yeah, and he's got that too.
That's the other thing that is more magnified. I think people would have more patience perhaps with him if it wasn't for the A.J. Brown thing, which has nothing to do with him, by the way. He just happens to be the guy, in here for A.J. Brown.
It can be unfair.
Yeah.
But it's reality. It doesn't matter whether you think it's unfair or not.
Yeah.
It's reality.
He didn't say, hey, I'm here to replace A.J. Brown.
No, but
come get me.
Basically, the Titans said that, right? With what they did. They traded A.J. Brown, then they used the first round pick that they got from Philadelphia, and they drafted Traylon Burks.
Yeah. A similar body type, SEC player. People thought, this is the A.J. Brown clone, but not so much.
Yeah. So.
Not his fault, though.
But super nice guy. And good for him, right? And it was very emotional, and he even said, hey, I think my teammates wanted it more than I did.
Hey.
When it comes to getting the hat trick. And that says a lot about him.
How many hat tricks have you been a part of that you can remember there at Bridgestone?
Me?
Yeah. Can you remember? A lot.
Yeah.
I've only been to one myself, and I had to, because I'll never forget it, and that's why I remember. I was there for the Martin Erat hat trick in 2009. And it was special. That place was absolutely electric. It was one of the loudest, most electric atmospheres that I can remember that building being in for that particular game. Now, of course, I've been to playoff games and other things where the energy's also been high. But that Martin Erat hat trick game is top 5 for me as far as energy in the building and the way the building reacted when he got that third goal. So I know. The hat trick moments there is very, very special in that building. And I'm glad anybody, let alone Cody Glass, and the fans as well, will get to remember that. The energy of people throwing the hats on the ice, it's a very special atmosphere and experience when that happens.
So the Predators will try to make it 9 in a row tomorrow night when they host the Montreal Canadiens. Today, Barry Trotz made a move. There was some news.
Saw that.
Trade deadline is on Friday. Again, right now, Barry Trotz is getting it done at general manager. I'll tell you why. Because of the move that we just talked about. I would say very, 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 very few general managers have ever pulled a move like that. Because there are very, 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 very few general managers that were a head coach in the league for 25 years.
Yeah.
So
unique resume.
He's got tons of experience on the bench, okay? Or behind the bench, as they say. So so far, you could attribute that to Barry Trotz. And Barry Trotz, dare I say, kind of bullied Tommy Novak's agent into what just happened today.
Explain that, please.
Because Barry Trotz was basically going, yeah, we're either going to get a deal done or he's out of here on Friday. Like, that's pretty much, if you read between the lines, it was like, yeah, he's either going to get traded or we're going to get a new deal done. So you guys better figure this out. We better come to terms or he's going to get sent packing.
Jeez.
And guess what? 3 years, 3.5 per. So $10 million deal. So what, 10.5 for Tommy Novak today. He gets a 3-year extension.
He was making $800,000 a year before. So, you'll take the triple salary and keep playing. Who knows how much you could have gotten, but
well,
now he'll take this.
I think that's pretty clear. I think they were probably asking for a lot. And Barry was like, look, we're not, that's not happening.
Yeah, we're not doing all that.
So either you're coming down or we're going to send you out.
Yeah. For what they're asking him to do on the team, at least, I don't think he was going to get a lot more than that.
Honestly, like I don't love it. I like it. I don't love it.
Okay.
And I'm not going to break out into a song.
Sure.
As I said last week, like Tommy Novak, he's nice season. He's a good player, but they've had Tommy Novaks throughout 25 years on this roster. This is what we've been talking about is, and I know you need these players. Like you're not going to have
what I'm saying,
a whole roster. I understand. I understand that, Justin. But
yes, sir.
Part of the problem is, and I know this is not an 8-year deal. I know it's not a 7-year deal. I know it's not a 6-year deal. It's a 3-year deal.
He's
so
26.
They get into these type of deals where they get locked down and bogged down for a long time, and then is Tommy. Here's what I don't know, Justin. Is he going to keep doing this? I don't know. Because guess what? We've seen this before.
Yeah.
You remember Tanner Jeannot? He had 25 goals.
Yeah.
And what they do the next season? They traded him and got a pile from the Lightning. And guess what he's done since then?
Not a lot.
Nothing.
Haven't heard a whole lot.
Yeah, you don't hear much from Tanner Jeannot.
No.
In other words, I don't know what he is. He's older. He's 27. Is he a flash in the pan? Or is this what he's just, had a different growth chart. And this is what he is. If this is what he is, good for Barry Trotz and the Predators. But if this, again, I don't know.
For Tommy Novak, is there any growth left? Is this, is there any upside?
I'm okay if this is what he is. Upside, I'm not willing to go there.
No, so in your mind, he's matured as a player. Like this is what he is here.
He's 27 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like his growth chart was a lot longer than most.
Yeah. So if this is what he is there, and for the role that he plays on this team, again, they're not asking him to do, and again, to me, all this is based on what they're asking him to do. So what they're asking him to do is put up the, fairly pedestrian numbers that I've looked at. But then again, if they're not asking him to go out there and score 3 to 4 goals a night, then he's doing what you expect him to do, or how many ever assists. Or it depends. What do you want? What do you want from the guy? What do you want from him? Like, what is he supposed to be doing?
If he can stay at this level, then I'm fine with it. I'm worried. Like, is this? Could he tail off?
Well, no, that's a whole.
That's what
thing.
I'm getting at.
Well, that's a whole other thing.
If he keeps at this level, it's fine.
You would think at 27, he's got at least 2 more years of prime left, but you don't know.
But we don't have any proof that he can keep doing this year in and year. Can he keep doing this for the next 3 years?
We don't have any proof that he can't.
Well, the fact that he's kind of burst on the scene at 27.
Well, it's hockey. I mean, I don't know. Listen, I just know that a lot of times that it can take players a while, and then once they get there, they get there. They're late bloomers.
That's fine. It may be the case.
In their late 20s, early 30s, who burst out and do well. Sometimes it has everything to do with rotation. This is also his first year with a new head coach. So how do we know that Andrew Burnett hasn't found whatever it is?
He's the magic formula. I don't know. Maybe.
Whatever it is that, has unlocked what it is he's supposed to be doing.
Could be.
That happens all the time on every single sport.
Yep.
So, I mean, we don't know. But you can't trade everybody or cut everybody. And you got to keep some players in-house. And so this is a player they've decided to keep in-house. You got to re-sign some guys, even if it means, This is one less thing they've got to worry about with the trades that are going on. They don't have to go look for a center. They've got Tommy Novak locked in for the next 3 years, paying him, good money. So, that's one less thing off the list. Now they got to worry about the UC Soros thing and whatever else may happen down the stretch.
Else, yeah. All right, we'll take a break. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Tony, we'll get to you on the other side as you listen to the McFarland Show on WNSR.
In a single moment, everything can change. When a player's sudden cardiac event brought a national football game to a halt, it shone a spotlight on the importance of CPR readiness. Now, with youth sports in full swing, the American Heart Association is rallying parents and coaches to be ready in an emergency. To be ready, learn hands-only CPR. It's a skill anyone can learn in minutes. Visit heart.org/hands-only-CPR and become a lifesaver today.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No, it's super fast and easy, and I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code LIFT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFT.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
I suspect a lot of Titans fans, I'm not sure, but I suspect will want Kevin Byard back. This team has turned over a new leaf, a whole new look completely in this market. We're about to embark on something we have never seen in 25 years.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Five-state forecast. Exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Skyscan forecast. Today we'll have times of clouds and sunshine. Nice afternoon, high 76. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight. Showers become likely, maybe a thunderstorm, low 58. Cloud showers and a thunderstorm Tuesday, high 72. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network at National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi. Sports Radio, WNSR.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
That's true. The text line is wide open and working. Kevin in Florida was like, is the text machine broken again? No. We see your text, Kevin. By the way, he said there's a Sizzler in Kissimmee, not far from Orlando.
There we go.
He said also for us not to forget Montgomery Ward.
Montgomery Ward. There you go. Montgomery Ward and service merchandise.
And we always, there's certain stores like that people add the S. Didn't we always say Montgomery Ward's?
Yeah, typically.
Like you ever hear people say, I'm going to Kroger's?
Yeah. Going to Kroger's.
I'm going to Kroger's.
Where? Kroger's.
Kroger's.
You know,
Oh.
down to the Kroger's.
Is that a Southern Charms? Kroger's? I'm going to Kroger's.
I remember people used to say, I'm going to Montgomery Ward's. Okay.
But we don't say Piggly Wigglies, though. We just say Piggly Wiggly. Nobody puts the S.
Piggly Wigglies.
No one puts the S on the Wigglies.
By the way, Kevin, I stayed in Kissimmee. That's where I saw the Sizzler.
There you go. So there we go.
All right. By the way, he did remind us the final was 5-1, not 6-1. And that is true.
Oh.
We misspoke.
Just seemed like it was
Let's
6-1.
take a goal away.
Okay.
Let's take it off the board.
Unring the horn.
Loaded lines. Let's get to them. Let's go. Let's start in Nolensville. Tony, what's up?
Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
It's nice having the band back together.
Yes, it is.
It really is. Boys are back in town, so that's a good thing.
Don't sing.
Two quick, no, I wasn't going to do that. Two quick little shout-outs. One for the Shea Rap and the Vanderbilt women. She's done a heck of a job. I think they got a good little placement seating over there for the tournament. Maybe can get to third round. I mean, they get a bye in the first round, so that's good. And the Austin P guys, the media picked them like dead last. The coaches picked them like 8. They've ended up with a number 4 seed, and of the number 4 seed, they lost 3 games to the number 2 seed and the number 3 seed, that being Stetson and Lipscomb, by a total of 10 points, and they beat the number 1 seed, Eastern. I think in Corey Gibson's first year, he might have a little surprise for some people, but they've had a good year, even if it ends here in the tournament. So I wanted to give a little shout out there. Gentlemen, just when we've seen all the craziness about college football and pro football and everything, something transpired here recently that I cannot believe that's going to take place. It's going to open up on March 18th. Have y'all seen where you can now buy stock in college and pro athletes on the stock market? Have y'all seen this?
No,
I have not.
March 18th. I will read it to you.
Is this a joke?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were really going to do a punchline.
Let's find it here. Go ahead, Tony.
It was in the paper yesterday.
All right.
A new investment platform that allows fans now to buy and sell shares in the future of on-the-field earnings of college and professional athletes was received through the federal approval to begin trading on the U.S. stock market beginning March 18th. The top player right now, the first player that's named stowed out there, is the Denver Broncos defensive end, Baron Browning.
So wait a minute. That's not college then. That's the pros. So,
college and pros.
College and pros. Okay.
College and pros. And you can buy stock into them. The first set of shares is going to be put up, 100,000 shares is going to be put up at $10 a piece in Browning's public offering on March 18th. Thank you very much. There's startling breaking news from Nolensville for the McFarland Show. Look it up.
Thank you,
read
Tom.
about it. And I couldn't believe it when I heard about it and read it. I'm like, I never thought this is where we're going down. It's crazy, guys.
Tony, we just
Crazy.
put 2 quarters in the slot. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. I hope you hit.
Well, no, that was for the newspaper.
Right.
That was just for your info.
I'm impressed that Tony read a newspaper. They got newspapers still?
That's what I was doing. The newspaper stand.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I was giving him 2 quarters.
I know.
He picked one up at the Ponderosa and kissed it.
And another restaurant we all miss. Darren, I don't know if you remember. Justin, you might remember Houston's.
Oh,
yes,
do
sir.
I remember?
Yes, sir.
Houston's.
Houston's
Yeah.
is recent.
They're still around.
No, it wasn't recent. No, it's been gone for a
Houston's
long
been gone for
time.
a long time.
Justin.
He's been on West End.
Classy. All right, guys. Talk to you.
Thank you, Tony.
They still have Houston's around.
Let's find out if they have one in Kissimmee or Orlando.
There's
look
one in
that up.
Atlanta, or at least there was.
Houston's?
Yeah, there
I didn't
was.
see one.
No, that was the Allen Houston's restaurant.
No, it wasn't.
No.
No, it wasn't. No, they had a Houston's. I don't know if it's still there, but they had
There's
one.
a Justin Houston Steakhouse in KC.
Yeah.
in Kansas City, but that's not the same place.
It's not the same thing.
No. Damon's looking at me. He doesn't know whether to believe me.
Just move right along.
He's giving me like the side stare.
Yeah, there's 2 of them in Atlanta still. I just looked it up. There's 2 of them in Atlanta right now.
Oh wow. Okay. Let's go to Bill. Bill is up next.
Hey, Bill.
Welcome in.
Hey guys, good afternoon
Save
to
us,
you.
Bill.
Good afternoon to everybody. Both of you guys have covered NFL football for quite a number of years. I know most of it's been right here in Middle Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
How much of an impact, or did he have an impact on NFL coverage? Did Chris
Mortensen.
Did Mr. Craig Mortensen have?
Chris
For those of you
Mortensen.
who do not know, Craig Mortensen passed away yesterday at the age of 72.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish, the best to his friends and family and contacts that he's had over the years in the NFL. I just wanted to know what you guys thought his impact, his lasting impact, if he has one in NFL media. And
Okay.
I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you, Bill. Sad story. Chris Mortensen had been with ESPN since 1991. 1991.
Yes, sir.
He was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer back in January of 2016.
Yeah.
I got to know Chris Mortensen a little bit. I used to do he used to do a weekly with our show.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and was great. I had some interaction with him on Radio Rose at the Super Bowl. He was always if he could do it, he would do it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, we were in Canton at the Hall of Fame game. Remember when the Titans
Yes.
played the Bills?
Yes.
Okay.
The punter with the touchdown in that game.
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
That was the Ohio State punter, right? AJ
Can't call it.
Trapacio or whatever. Wasn't that who it was?
I can't remember. But
I think that's who it was.
So.
Anyways, you know who played in that game for the Titans at quarterback?
His son.
Alex Mortensen.
Yeah.
And
I saw him in training camp. I saw Chris at training camp. I saw him in the press box.
Yeah,
for those games. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it works in the press box. You're not supposed to cheer.
Of course
You're not supposed to be
make an
professional.
announcement.
And Chris Mortensen had been, covering the league forever, and he couldn't contain himself. He had a big, reception, and he started cheering and clapping.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of chuckled because they knew it was.
Yeah, it's the sun out there.
It was the sun.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, I think the very next play he threw a pick.
He did.
I remember. I was there. I remember it well. He was a great guy. Obviously, a Hall of Famer in this business. Has been, to answer your question, Bill, been covering it since 1991 for ESPN. That's how long he's been at this.
Very quickly, his impact is massive. Massive. There is no Adam Schefter. There is no anything that you would call an NFL insider. He literally defined the word and the term NFL insider to Chris Mortensen. And him, along with John Clayton, who I knew a little bit better than Chris Mortensen, but it wasn't because Mort wasn't a great guy, just my circles, I ran into John Clayton more. Both of them were fantastic people, kind and humble, considering the people that they were at the time.
Yep.
When there was no Twitter or social media, like their word was law when it came to the NFL, and they spoke it on the air all the time. They were massive human beings in this business, and they will be greatly missed. Now, both of them.
Well said. We'll come back. Bob, you'll close out the first hour, and we'll do that next here on the McFarland Show, WNSR.
Fun is in full bloom, Tennessee, and the Multiplier Instant Games are buzzing in. These colorful tickets offer chances to multiply your wins 10, 20, 50, and even 100 times. It's a beautiful day for bigger and bigger prizes, and they're ripe for the picking right now. Find the Multiplier Instant Games today at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Do you ever feel like gambling is causing financial strain or hurting your relationships? The Gambling Clinic has been helping people who want to change their gambling habits for over 2 decades. With physical clinics and remote online appointments, we're here to help you make informed decisions about your gambling so it doesn't lead to a bigger problem. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com so we can work together to help you win your life back. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Are you ready for some March Madness? Then don't miss out on any of the action at the High Valley Conference Basketball Championship presented by United Fidelity as the return to the Ford Center downtown Evansville for March 6th through the 9th as the first entries into the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments are crowned. All session tickets and single game tickets are now on sale through each OVC school's ticket office, Ticketmaster, and the Ford Center box office. Visit ovcsports.com/Evansville for more details and be there to OVC it in person.
Right.
The McFarland Show, broadcasting live in Rutherford County on 107.9 FM.
Listen to it every day. If you're down in Rutherford County, check out 107.9. Back to the phones we go. Let's go to Bob in Antioch. Bob, what's up?
Hey, Bob.
Good afternoon, guys. I know you're up against the hour. I've got 2 quick questions
You're good.
I'll listen to off there. First of all, the first several years of the Predators post-game on the radio, they had a call-in show, and I've really liked that. I felt like that really helped grow the sport. I was wondering why, if you know why they discontinued that. And the second question I've got is, with the new stadium and whatnot that the Titans are going to have, does that mean that the Predators will not host an outdoor game? Since it'll be domed, I didn't know if you had heard anything about that.
Well, they have hosted an outdoor game. They did it.
I know that. I know that. I'm talking about maybe like a future.
You're talking about like the Winter Classic?
Winter Classic or another stadium series game.
It's a possibility they could put one at Geodis Park. Would be a place where they could put one rather easily.
Yeah.
And I think they'd be down for it. It's owned by the city as well. I think it would be easily done if they were so inclined. But there is another site where they could do that.
I think they should make the rink the whole size of the field. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
To answer your question quickly, Bob, it went away because, quite honestly, if I'm just telling the truth, it was just the same people calling. And then Saturday night games, you had to have your finger on the dump button, if you know what I mean.
I got you. Totally understand. They were intoxicated by more than the results.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Yes.
Appreciate
Okay.
it.
All right. Thank you.
All right, we'll come back head east next.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Former President Trump will be on the primary ballot tomorrow in Colorado. The Supreme Court today tossed out a ruling by Colorado's highest court to remove him in an historic 14th Amendment case.
I think it's a very big day for America. I think it's a very big day for liberty, and I think it's just a great day for this country.
The ruling also likely ends any similar cases in other states. The former CFO of the Trump Organization will spend a few months in jail. Alan Weisselberg pleaded guilty today to perjury for his testimony in Mr. Trump's civil fraud trial. 22-year-old Jack Teixeira will spend 16 years in prison after pleading guilty to posting highly classified military secrets to Discord, a site popular with gamers. JetBlue and Spirit Airlines are ending their merger after losing an antitrust lawsuit in multiple states and in Washington, D.C. The Dow down 63 points heading for the close. This is ABC News.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour rolling along on this gorgeous Monday afternoon here in Music City. Darren and Justin live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. DJ Damon is alongside for the ride. One more hour to go. Let's head east. We do this every Monday. It's customary. He's with 99.1 The Sports Animal. He hosts a morning show with John Wilkerson. His name is Vince Ferrara. He's affectionately known as Vinny. Hey, Vinny. Hey, Vinny, what's up, Vinny?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I
wasn't ready for that.
Just to be clear, paisans, it's Vinny with a Y, not I-E. We're not Vinny the Pooh, you know? It's a Y.
We're not Vinny the Pooh. Oh, man.
What is happening?
That is a good start, an unexpected start.
Wow.
Kind of like Saturday night. If I'm just going to be honest, full disclosure, I did not think the Vols were going to win that game. I thought that was just one of those games in it. You know, look, they pantsed Alabama in Knoxville, they embarrassed them, beat them by 20. This game's on national TV. It's Saturday night. It's Tuscaloosa. The GOAT's in the house. I mean, all these famous people. The stars are out. You know, their new football coach is there. The GOAT is there. And I just thought this is going to be an incredibly difficult game for them to win. And I just thought, if you're going to ask me, this is probably a loss. This is just going to be a tough one. And it's a hell of a win, Vince. I mean, that is a really, really good win to go into Tuscaloosa. Like I said, after embarrassing them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we've seen the revenge factor be really powerful in the league and in basketball this year. I mean, it happened with Tennessee and Texas A&M, where A&M was so motivated and blew out Tennessee at home, and then Tennessee was more than ready to get after them back in Knoxville. So it felt that way. Plus the home court for Alabama. They're a really good explosive team that gets over 100 points a bunch. And you just felt like, look, Tennessee probably with that gauntlet of a schedule wasn't going to run the table. If you're going to pick them to lose a game, to me that was the highest percentage one where you would pick them to lose. So it played out all that way even before the game started for all the reasons you laid out. And then Tennessee's bigs got into foul trouble in the first half, and they were able to survive that. Then Alabama goes on that 12-0 run at the end of the half to take a lead into the half. Then you're like, all right, now kind of the reality is setting in. And then Tennessee's able to punch back. Then Bama punches back. It was a game of a bunch of little mini runs, 7-0 runs, 8-0 runs, 12-0 runs. And then even when Alabama took a 7-point lead, Tennessee had an answer back. And I think what was most impressive, you called it a hell of a win, on top of all those things, how they won in not having to overly rely on Dalton Connect.
That's where I was going next. Yep.
That was a statement and very impressive. And then you factor in, so that's one narrative. Oh, they can't win unless Connect saves their backside and goes off because of the supporting cast. Another thing is they can't win if they don't get inside scoring. And they did get double digits from Jonas Adu, but it wasn't his top-level game because he played limited minutes with foul trouble in the first half. But they were still able to win that way. So many guys contributed to that win. It was the defense that carried them this time, not number 3, and everybody chipped in. Meshack's defense was unbelievable. His sequence was the play, the sequence of the game, where he hit an open 3 when Barnes has been telling him, when you're open, shoot the ball, because he feels like he's just a defensive stopper. So he passes those up. So he shot the ball, made a 3, and then immediately Alabama tried to push it up the court, and he crossed court from one side to the other and picked off a pass like he was a safety, a free safety, where he said he channeled his brother, who was a football player and a safety, and then that led to a basket and an one opportunity for Adu. That right there, like, really sucked the air, I think, out of Bama. And then they wore Alabama down. They only shot 2 of 19 from 3 in the second half. Just not what Alabama, who relies on that 3 ball a lot, not how they can win ball games. Just a fantastic performance, just to grind that out when things were against them and get a win on the road. That was really impressive.
Both teams were really poor from 3-point line. I mean, from the arc. They both of them, they attempted 77 threes.
Yeah.
Between the two teams, they made 21 of the 77. Yeah. That's how poor they were throwing up threes all night. But I will say this, like you just brought up Alabama, 2 or 19 in the second half. Tennessee was just the opposite. While they missed a whole lot of threes, they hit them when it counted the most. They had some monster threes late in the game.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, as of late during this winning streak for Tennessee, they're not having other guys go off for like 25, 30 like Connect. But it seems like when they do make one or two threes that they're big. Even going back to the Auburn game that Tennessee won that was really impressive since the last time I was on last Monday. Santiago Vescovi had 2 baskets. He had 2 points in the game. And first he had an incredible assist to an open Adu inside when Connect had to pass out of a triple team. And then he had a putback of a Connect missed 3-pointer off the glass, and that was big in helping them seal that ball game. So their veterans especially are coming up big, even if they don't have the big explosive production. And that's the recipe for this team, is for everyone to contribute, their leaders, and then have the ability when you need it to go DK3 takeover, Dalton Connect, to help them push through to maybe win against a really good opponent when you need one in postseason.
Well, the good news is you're coming off a big week of beating Auburn and Alabama, one at home and one on the road. You get a break to finish out the regular season. You get to rest and relax. Oh, wait a minute. No, they're going to South Carolina and they play Kentucky this week. It doesn't get any easier this week.
No, I mean, we saw it, that it was 4 straight quad 1 games for them. And, look, South Carolina is going to have plenty of confidence. I bet you that arena is going to be as rocking. I know they beat Kentucky earlier this year, but that arena will be as rocking as it's been since their Final Four team.
And they just beat Florida on Saturday.
That's right. And so, it's going to be tough. And then you get Kentucky at home, who's now routinely over 100 points. Now that they're healthy and they've got their midseason big kind of playing, his best basketball, and everybody's elevated their play. And the defense doesn't matter as much when you score 111. But, Tennessee is fourth. They're fourth in both of the polls right now. Do you know that it's the 3rd straight week that Tennessee's been in the top 5 of the polls? That's the first time that's ever happened in program history.
Wow.
3 consecutive weeks in the top 5.
I'm convinced they're going to be a 1 or 2 seed no matter what happens the rest of the way. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, 2 seed, they would have to have an epic, but even if they lose their last 2 and go 1 and done, I don't know that they fall off of that 2 line. They're 6-5 in quad 1 games. I mean, that's really good when you can be above 500 against top level competition. So, I think they're in good shape for at least 2. And then the debate is for fans: do you want them to be a 2 seed and stay closer to home, sorta, and maybe get Charlotte in the 1st and 2nd round, and then either Midwest Regional in Detroit or South Regional in Dallas? Those are the closest ones regionally. Or do you want a 1 seed, and if you get the 1 seed, you're going to get sent out west? So, which one is better? How much of a difference in tournament success is there from a 1 seed versus a 2 seed? How does that play up with the matchup? So that's another interesting aspect of this.
Let's go to football if we can, Vince. And I just want to talk about Jalen Wright, who jumped off the page there in Indianapolis with 4.38 on the speed, sub 4.4, which, listen, I'm not saying he was slow. I'm not saying he ran like a piano was on his back, but I didn't look for 4.3 anything out of Jalen Wright. I'm sure you were not surprised, but I think the rest of the football world was.
I actually was kind of half expecting him to run faster. He was a high school track guy, and we've seen him separate on some long runs this year. I think Kentucky was one of them, and Georgia was another one where I got a lot of people's attention when he's running away from Georgia's defense. So, and he was the reaction he had after running his improved time of 4.38. He was mad. He was like, this sucks. And he had higher expectations. It wouldn't surprise me if he's in the 4.33 area at the Pro Day for Tennessee, which is on March 27th. So, yeah, and then the broad jump 11.2, that was the second best of anyone, and then the best ever for a Tennessee ball, one of the better ones among running backs. That broad jump was crazy at 11.2. So he did the position drills flawlessly. He didn't catch any passes because the reason why he missed the Senior Bowl was he had surgery to recover that. But that's why he was getting healthy and missed the Senior Bowl. He had a great combine. So we'll see, how many teams bring him in, for those 30 interviews. So yeah, it was a really good combine, I think, for Jalen Wright.
What was the report card after scouts got a load of Joe Milton? How did that go?
Well, you guys might have seen or heard the oohing and eyeing of everyone in the building on his long throws. And I know for Vols fans, they kind of roll their eyes like, whatever. We've seen that before. That doesn't equate to winning to me. But it's still, if you haven't witnessed it in person, it's still a sight to behold. It's still different from anybody else. And, he did show better touch and accuracy from what the game film showed. Here's the thing, though. Everyone's like, oh, it's the Underwear Olympics, doesn't mean anything. It's not the be-all, end-all either. What it forces teams to do is go back and check that tape again and make sure that they saw what they saw, or there weren't other reasons for it, whether it's offense, whether it was something else, and then just go back and cross-reference it. I'm sure for some it was like, for some scouts they're probably like, yeah, he's exactly what I thought, but you got to do it in a game, and you got to do it on the whiteboard. So we'll see how those interviews went for him. But on the field, I do think for people that hadn't seen him in person, he did make an impression, and they'll go back and dig in and see what somebody's going to take a chance on him. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
With that arm talent, it's just a matter of which team and how high. I'll tell you this: Charlie Weiss said on Sirius XM this morning, he thinks him and Milton and Rattler will go in the second round.
Yep.
That's
good luck
how
with
much
that.
Some guys like him.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Jeez. All right, let's round it out here. I don't want to leave Kamal Hadden off the board here.
Hopefully, it's somebody in the AFC South.
Taking a chance on Joe. Jeez, I can tell Darren is not high on Joe Milton.
He's a nice guy, but I mean, come on, let's not tiptoe around it.
It is, man. The NFL,
it's just gonna magically fix itself at the next level.
Come on. Just bring him to me in my QB camp. I can fix him. All right, Kamal Hadden, just to round it out here, the defensive back. What was the impressions of him?
Yeah, I think first of all, I was surprised he didn't run a 40. I didn't hear what the reasoning for that was. Man, when you're competing, when you're one of like 68 DBs, I think it was somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And you got to separate. Daniel Jeremiah has said that position is the one where the 40 times probably carry the most weight in them evaluating you, your makeup speed, those kind of things. I don't think Kamal Hadden is slow, but I think he could have opened some eyes and maybe broken some ties in some rooms. I'm sure he'll run at the pro day. I was a little surprised he didn't. But, all accounts, he did well in the drills. He looked pretty smooth. So solid, I would say, for Hadden. And then again, how many teams bring him in for those 30 interviews to where he can have more face-to-face with those teams? Those teams did, 40, 50 of them there. Those 30 interviews where they get to bring 30 guys to their place, then that you can make another impression there. We'll see how many of those opportunities he gets.
Real quick on the baseball side, they keep rolling. The schedule hasn't exactly been very rough. What do you make? I think I asked you the same question last week, but it's just hard to gauge what they really are playing, these teams that, they're expected to beat up on.
Yeah, I think a couple of little things, maybe not little to Tony Vitello, but, a couple of guys at the top of the lineup, they're really getting going. And their averages are really moving up where if they weren't playing after Arlington, they still were a little bit slow offensively in some areas. But, man, Billy Amick was the SEC Player of the Week. Blake Burke's bat's gotten hot. He's been explosive since they moved him to 2-hole. So I think defining more roles, getting a lot more guys contributing. And then they may have found a third weekend starter. A.J. Causey, who's a transfer from Jacksonville State, started Friday's game and was terrific in 7 innings of work. So when A.J. Russell, when he gets back from his shoulder soreness, if he's at the level he was before, now I think you have your 3 weekend starters established. We'll see, though, and how those guys pitch this weekend and the final non-conference weekend against Illinois. But that might have been another noteworthy thing, is finding that third weekend starter, which they had yet to really do to that point.
You coming to Nashville for the tourney?
I hope so. I'm going to do everything I can. I'd say it's more likely than not likely. So look forward to hopefully seeing you guys there.
All right. Sounds good. Vinny, appreciate it as always. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
You guys rock. Appreciate you.
Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal there in Knoxville, hosts the morning show with John Wilkerson, does a fantastic job. SEC tournament just around the corner in our city. It's going to be a fun basketball tournament. Man, it's going to be fun.
Lots of different things at stake here. So,
I mean, we're going to see a 100-point game for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the scores are they're crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that's the stretch at all.
It's like every night in the SEC we get a 100-point game.
Well, hopefully,
or in this case, the Kentucky game, 2 teams, in the same game over 100.
Hopefully, the rims aren't a little tight over there at Bridgestone. Yeah. I've heard that in the past. That it's not, the basketball venue is lacking at times. Yep. So we'll see.
All right, we're wide open the rest of the hour if you want to get involved. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Rolling along here on this Monday. More of the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Kentucky. First online real money wager, only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We all make resolutions this time of year. And let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
This responsible gaming message is brought to you by the Tennessee Lottery. When you play the lottery, it's important to play responsibly. Know your limit and spend only what you can afford. Set a budget and stick to it. And remember, As long as you're having fun, you're always a winner in our book. The Tennessee Lottery is a proud supporter of National Problem Gambling Awareness Month. To learn more about problem gambling resources, visit tnlottery.com.
Hey, it's John Burton from News Channel 5.
And it's Patton Cook from National Sports Radio.
We are excited for our new show, JB and the General, every Monday through Friday right here on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Talking all things Titans, Nashville SC, Preds, anything you want, we can talk.
And we don't mind going off the beaten path once in a while as well. Again, that's every Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 right here on WNSR.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
615-844-5600 is how you can get in touch with us. Phone line and text line. Don't forget, you can watch the show every day. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We look good. And we even bring in, guests that look good. So
sure.
Just,
from time to time.
It's a show you want to watch.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Bonnie Jill.
I would agree.
Laughlin was in the studio with us on Friday.
Sure.
We had a good time with that. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. What? Are you expecting me to co-sign with something?
No, I'm just.
I would agree.
Stating facts.
I agree. She was here.
We had a good time.
Yes. Good time was had by all.
And you can also interact with us on our YouTube page by typing in WNSR Live, one word, and you can interact.
Trying to start something, aren't you?
I am not.
You trying to start something?
I'm not.
I saw the pictures.
Not
Can you
getting
tell
me
me
caught,
who she was?
Caught up in anything.
Do what?
I saw the pictures on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the guest?
Bonnie Jill Laughlin. Thanks for listening. Yeah.
I know.
Well, he was on vacation.
I just said her name. No, I just said her
I'm
name.
saying, who was she, though? What?
Oh, she was. Okay, I didn't hear you say who was she.
Who was she?
She was a former Golden State Warriors cheerleader,
Mm-hmm.
a former San Francisco 49ers cheerleader, a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and the first and only NBA scout.
Oh, okay. So that's why you
female scout. NBA scout.
That's why you were thrilled to have her.
And she just wrote a book about it. So, and she honored a lot of very, very famous women. And I'm sure upon our suggestion, I wouldn't be surprised if book 2, it wasn't in our future.
I think I saw her eyes light up.
Yes,
with a couple of our
right. We
suggestions
saw her
with that.
reaction.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, I didn't thought about that.
Like, in other words, you could keep going. There's a long list of women you could interview.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go down to Columbia. Nate is up next. Nate, what's up?
What's up, guys? So I am glad that I was not able to get in the last hour because I would have given y'all some bad information about Houston's in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah?
What about
it? I just thought they didn't have any anymore because the one that me and my family used to go to, I think it was down 75, it closed. So I thought they all closed in Atlanta, but according to Justin, no. So I trust his expertise more than mine.
Thank you. There is 2 down there.
Were you doing TV
Google.
here during Houston's or no?
I'm sorry.
In other words, I want to know
open?
from TV, Justin, like what, because I've heard the stories, but I don't know why it closed.
Oh, why it closed? I don't know why it closed. No, I don't know why it closed. I know it was very popular.
It was very popular. And
why I think it's more of a corporate thing. I don't think it had anything to do with the people here on the ground. I think it was more of an upstairs thing. They needed to cut costs, and Nashville was the way to cut costs.
That's not the story I got, but I was just curious if you had heard.
No.
And why they didn't open up a new one is, I mean, gosh.
Consolidate.
It was always, every time I went, it was packed.
It was. Yeah. People liked it a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Well, as y'all probably could tell for the past few weeks, I've been close to the Predator's ledge, ready to jump with, but I listened to the 32 Thoughts podcast this morning, and Jeff Merrick said something that actually, makes me feel a little better, and it makes sense.
Okay.
He said that moving goalies at the deadline is very difficult because it's very hard to get them acclimated to the teams.
Why?
And because you only have such a short period of time. And they gave an example, and I can't remember what it was, but the game was during a playoff game, and the goalie was going to play the puck, but the rest of the team, I guess, didn't really know he was going to go play it because they haven't been playing together for long, and so they didn't really know, I guess, each other's idiosyncrasies and everything. So, yeah, I mean, that makes me step back a little bit and feel a little better. But I guess the offseason
I would say, look, Jeff Merrick and Elliot Freeman do a fantastic job. I'm certainly not here to dispute them, but one, you don't see a lot of goaltender trades in the NHL, right? Especially really good ones. But I would tell you my pushback, just to state an example here, Devin Dubnyk came here and made a starter too. And I remember being on the air going, he needs to retire. Like, he's done. Like, Devin Dubnyk is done. And the Predators traded him to Minnesota Wild, and he seemed like he got acclimated pretty nicely. In fact, he went on to make a whole second career out of it. He didn't have a problem acclimating to the Wild.
You trying to make me stay near the ledge, Darren?
Well, what do you mean? I was gonna say, that's what I want to know.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, what do you mean by the ledge?
What do you want to do, Nate? Which way are you leaning and why?
I really just don't want them to add, and with each win, I am getting more and more concerned that they are going to add even a depth piece. I don't even want a depth piece. I think that's a waste of assets.
Okay, let me just say this, Nate. I will say it is very, very fair for a longtime Predators fan as yourself and others that I've spoken to that have the same fear. I will tell you the same thing I've told them. I understand why you have that fear because that's happened a lot, especially in the last 7-8 years. True, we all know that. But in fairness, we have no history to know what Barry Trotz is going to do because Barry Trotz hasn't been we've only known one general manager to have those feelings. And David Poile is now retired. So we don't know Barry Trotz's history and like what he's going to do and what his tendencies are. If David Poile was still the general manager, I wouldn't say a word, right? Like I would just look at you and all the other Predators fans that have expressed the same feelings as you and say, I get it. And that's all I would say is, I get it. But it's not David Poile, it's Barry Trotz. So we don't know his tendencies. I would say that, we don't have a clue that he would do something like that. And I don't think that he's going to add. I think right now his plays have been pretty smart. But again, it's Friday and we'll find out. But I don't think he's going to add. I just don't. And I agree with you. If he adds, I'll be the first to get on these airwaves and say, I love Barry, but I don't understand adding. I don't get it. They've gone down this road so many times and adding hasn't worked. So why is it going to work now? I guess the pushback on that would say, well, that was David Poile that added. This is now Barry Trotz, and then I won't have much of a comeback.
He's adding differently.
Yeah, right.
Well, I would say that the comeback to that would be, to me, adding is adding. So it doesn't really matter who's adding. If he added, he obviously would believe the Preds are much closer than he thought, but I just don't see it. So,
yeah, I'm with you. I do not want them to add. I have been very, very adamant about that. No matter what, they can keep winning, and I hope they will. I hope they do, and I think they will. I'm just saying right now, they're going to go 5-0 on this homestand. They're going to win 10 in a row. And then whatever happens after that, I don't know, but they're going to go 5-0 on this homestand. They're going to have a 10-game winning streak come the deadline. What does that do? I don't know. I don't think it should do anything different. But we'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
But y'all have a great day, guys.
Thank you, Nate.
Enjoy the sun after your show.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Nate. I just want to say about Barry Trotz, nothing in Barry Trotz's history would suggest that, I know we haven't seen him in the GM role, but nothing about him suggests that he's impulsive in this way, that would add to a team that's been roughly or below 500 most of the year, then all of a sudden has caught fire and won 8 games in a row. This is a gentleman who has coached a lot of hockey and seen a lot of streaks. I just find it hard to believe that he thinks everything is fixed, we're all good now, and it's time to start adding pieces so we can win a cup because my team has won 8 games in a row. That sounds unlike him.
In an 82-game season.
In an 82-game season.
Teams get hot all the time.
That sounds unlike him. That sounds.
I agree.
That sounds like video game stuff. That sounds like Madden stuff.
To your point, Justin, if there's anybody who gets it more than anybody else,
yeah,
it's Barry Trotz. You know why? Because he's been through all that.
Yeah.
As
he's
a coach.
Been there and done all this.
He's had 8-game winning streaks, and he's had 8-game losing streaks. He understands the ebbs and flows of a long hockey season.
It would be extremely impulsive to decide you want to build, because adding means you're building, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be extremely impulsive to decide that you want to build on top of a streaking team that has shown no evidence. It'd be one thing if they were, playing 10 games over 500, then hit a lull, and now they're come roaring back. But that's not what's happened. This team has been mostly 500 most of the year.
Most of the time, they've been on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Of the playoff picture.
Of the playoff picture. And by the way, it's not like they're challenging now for the Central or whatever we're doing these days. I don't know the playoff structure. Yeah, but the seeding and everything is different. So whatever. It's not like they're challenging for the 1 or 2 seed in the West now because they've hit this hot streak. They're challenging to make their way in and draw some separation between them and the last place team on the way out. They're still the 8th seed. So I don't understand where the angst would come in that Barry Trotz would add. And listen, this is where I'm missing some of the gaps here. Would David Poile add, given the same exact formula and scenario, would David Poile, and I do not know, would David Poile add to this?
Possibly.
He would add to this.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he has. That's what I'm saying. So I was saying to Nate and any other fan that feels that way, if David Poile did, you have the right to feel that way because he did. There was history, and it happened more than once.
Okay. Was David Poile chasing the cup a little bit?
I think we know.
A little bit of a chase going on, and listen, we're all chasing the cup. I get you.
I don't have a problem with that, but you're right. It may have skewed the best decision.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with David Poile chasing the cup. Everybody, we've been talking about this market is due a parade.
Yeah.
Where it comes from, we're not sure where.
No.
We just want to see a parade.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of people who've been here longer than 5 minutes that want to see a parade
with the big trophy.
So nobody's going to fault him for wanting to see a parade too and be the first to deliver the parade. But to your point, it may have, served him wrong.
Yeah. Where you get to chasing it, then
you're not thinking. You're just thinking, if I add this will put us over the top, and it didn't happen
because you're trying to catch lightning in the bottle a little bit because you've tried it this other way and it hasn't been working. So now here we are in year 16 or 17 or 18 or 22, and we're trying
23, 24.
So maybe you're trying something a little different. We're in year 1 for Barry Trotz. I don't get the sense from our conversations with him, from the sound bites that we've gotten from him, I don't get the sense that his sense of urgency is that high that he would do something that impulsive. I don't see it. And this is not me, the hockey person. This is just me, the sports person. Across the board, that doesn't make sense. So I don't see that. Now, could he do it? Sure, but I mean, it doesn't. You got a new ownership. You go into Governor Haslam's office and say, this is what we're doing. With his business acumen that he has, a former mayor and a former 8-year governor. These are people who have vision. I don't know. I find it hard to believe. I do.
Well,
different set of people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a different set of people.
It's fair.
It's a different set of people. I promise you, Barry Trotz going in there and talking to Bill Haslam may be a little different than David Poile going in and talking to fill in the blank, because I know there's been a few people there as the majority ownership. If that conversation was even had.
I just don't understand. Look, again, like Jeff Merrick and Ellie Freeman are like two of the best that covers. I don't, and I didn't hear the conversation.
You need to hear the full thing.
Right, I didn't hear it. I'm just going off what Nate told us.
Sure.
But to act, what goaltenders is hard for them to act like what? I know. Based on what?
I mean, it's not like they have to fit in a rotation or
Did
something.
Sergei Bobrovsky have a problem adjusting to Florida Panthers when they were in the Stanley Cup? And I get it. He did actually start off slow, but when Columbus traded him to Florida, he seemed to work out just fine. And he eventually got him to a Stanley Cup final.
Maybe we can have Chris Mason on soon or something and ask him about. I just don't. To me, it seems like the one position that you don't need to get acclimated
Right,
to.
you're kind of in your own world to begin with.
I mean, it's not like
right?
you're joining a shift and trying to
you're
get
not
used
on a
to
line.
The line. I'm sorry, the shift, the
it's
line.
fine.
It's not like you're joining a line and trying to get acclimated, chemistry with the other guys around you, and you don't know what they like to do. It's hockey at a certain point.
I do not. Again, I don't know what they said. This is just going off. Hard to get acclimated to your new surroundings. You're a goaltender.
It's not like you're calling plays.
You talk to a net in the post.
I mean,
you talk to yourself. You're back there by yourself all the time.
See puck, stop puck. It's kind of the.
Honestly,
if you can see it.
Look, we've been very lucky here, Justin, but there has been a lot of weird goalies in the league. Usually they're the weirdest of the bunch. We've been blessed here. We have had unbelievable goalies with great personality, awesome dudes. But, man, there have been a lot of great goalies in the league, in the history of the league, and they are weird birds.
All right.
We just have been lucky here.
Okay.
But they're typically a little bit out there. They're kind of like Wilson with Tom Hanks.
Okay. In the movie is Castaway?
Yes.
Is that what that is?
Did you see that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe I have.
Jeez.
I think so.
Really?
I'm not sure.
There's a Tennessee Titans reference in the movie.
Then no, I haven't seen it.
You
I
never
would have
saw
noticed
Castaway?
No.
Then you have to. That has to be added to the
No,
list.
I didn't see it.
Listeners, add it to the list.
Okay.
That one's got to be high up there.
Yeah.
That's got to be
Castaway.
high up there.
I know that he was talking to a volleyball on an island.
But
And
it
Tom
all
Hanks
started
and,
in Memphis. And,
I
yeah,
missed
man.
that part of the movie.
There's a Titans reference.
I just saw a clip.
And a
and-
Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah, we got
I
to
missed all
put
that.
it on the list.
Yeah.
Missed all that.
Gosh.
Castaway coming up.
Oh, boy.
And that's probably Blockbuster, too.
All right, we'll take a break. 615-844-5600.
Still one on Gallatin Road there in the corner?
No.
No.
We've
Not there?
established they're gone.
Not there anymore?
Even the last one, it's gone.
Okay.
That's our phone line and our text line. More of the McFarland Show next here on WNSR.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling. Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, is a nationally renowned steakhouse specializing in the finest corn-fed Midwestern prime beef. The menu formula is simple: incredible meat, gigantic shrimp, fabulous salads, and decadent desserts. Start your experience at Bob's with the fried calamari or fresh scallops seared in Texas burnt honey. All the beef at Bob's Steak and Chop House are USDA prime cuts, from the traditional filet of tenderloin and ribeye to the adventurous Kansas City bone-in strip. They even have 2 different surf and turf options. And if you're looking for the other white meat, Bob's Steak and Chop House serves a dry-aged pork tomahawk with homemade applesauce. Fresh seafood is on the menu, from salmon to scampi, and even fresh lobster tail. For reservations, give them a call or log on to the Omni Nashville Hotel website. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Buyandtow.com. Get cash for junk cars. You have a vehicle that's become a problem? You can get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. They'll buy your vehicle no matter the condition, in your driveway, at your mechanic shop, or even on the side of the road. You can call them at 615-480-6473 or visit buyandtow.com. Get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. 615-480-6473. Buyandtow.com. That's buyandtow.com.
It's a Bill King Show.
We created a rule decades ago on the show. Weddings, things of that nature, during the playing portion, do not get consideration. No. Don't do that. Weddings are meant for the spring. They do not get consideration during the playing portion of the season. That's just the way we work it around here. That's the way we play it around here.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
The McFarland Show, streaming live on the WNSR app and on WNSR.com.
Well, kind of some big news in the NFL world, and I mean big. The Denver Broncos have cut Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson cut, and that is going to leave them $85 million in dead money.
Jeez.
Russell Wilson. So for people wondering if
40% of their cap or something.
Well, it's $230 the cap. Is that right? It went up.
So.
It went up $30 million.
So it's a lot. It's a good percentage of their cap if that's the case. Maybe it's not all with 1 year. Is it all for 1 year? The $87 million.
The new, let's see, what is?
We can
it
find
went
it
up
here.
$30 million.
So the Broncos have released a statement here about it.
It is 255.4.
Boy, that's a good chunk. The Broncos released a statement earlier. We spoke with Russell Wilson today to inform him of his release after the start of the league year. So not officially right now, but they've informed him at the start of the league year coming up here soon. On behalf of the Broncos, we thank Russell for his contributions and dedications to our team and community while wishing him the best as his career continues.
It's 33% of their cap.
Jeez. That's going to be playing for somebody else.
It's almost 35% of a cap.
They wanted him out real bad.
Well, if you want to know if that was real or not, what was going on last season, especially at the end, answer's yes.
Mercy.
Wow.
Boy, big gamble and swing and miss. And now the franchise is going to have to suffer the consequences here for the next little bit. But they will. And listen, maybe this is all part of the plan for them to go 1-16 and get the number 1 overall pick next year or the year after and start over again with their new franchise quarterback, wherever college he may be playing at right now. I don't know. I don't know where, but every single year we anoint someone as the next whatever it is, and next year will be no different. And so, I don't know.
So what's the deal with Russell Wilson?
Well, he's 35.
No.
That's the deal.
No.
That's
there's
the problem.
There's a whole, no. It's not.
That's not what you were getting at?
It's not his age.
Okay.
Justin, all this didn't happen. I mean, he took Seattle to 2 Super Bowls. He's still been productive. Has he been productive to the level in his prime? No, but he's still been a productive quarterback. Like there's a lot. I know we all know who he's married to.
Sure.
We've heard stuff about him. He beats to his own drum. He lives in his own world.
He does.
But
yeah.
It's like, is he the first guy to do that?
No.
I mean, I don't think so.
He was 11-19 during his time with the Broncos. 42 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, 63% completion ratio, completion
percentage
rating or whatever it is.
So what were his numbers last year?
Let's see. So last year, Russell Wilson completed 297 of 447, so 66% passer completion ratio with 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Like, again, is it off the charts? No.
No.
Is it worth the money they're paying him? No.
No.
But is it worth being cut and eating $85 million? Like, there's a story we don't know. Like, Seattle was willing to move on from him, and Denver is now willing to trade and give up a lot to get him and then cut him with $85 million in dead money. So here's the question.
Yeah.
Because, one, in NFL circles, they know. Like,
sure.
Right? It's like radio. It's like television.
Yeah, they know what to do.
Everybody gossips. Everybody knows the stories,
Yeah.
right? So, is there a next landing spot for him?
Oh, somewhere.
Okay, where?
No, I don't know. Maybe the Raiders. They need a quarterback right now, and they're further back in the draft. So they're not going to get one of the big ones.
And what are you going to pay him? What are you going to give him?
Well, less than what the Broncos paid him, that's for sure.
Well, yeah. And by the way, he's getting that money, so
yeah. So
what do you pay him?
Someone
is he willing to? Is he doing? Like, I don't know. I'm intrigued by this.
I don't see him being a backup somewhere. I think somebody.
I agree. There's no
someone
way.
is going to bring him in and is going to make him their starter.
Falcons?
Maybe the Falcons. Somebody looking to make a splash. And here's the other thing. Somebody that thinks they've drafted the quarterback that isn't ready to play. So let's say one of the top teams of this year's draft are going to draft a quarterback, whether it's the Commanders or the Bears or whomever it is. They draft a quarterback, but they don't think he's quite ready yet. Maybe you want to give him a year or two. Let him ease in. You sign Russell Wilson, let him play, and know that you have your heir apparent already with you, ready to roll, for whatever's next. I can see that scenario as well. So even though you draft a guy in the top 10 or whatever, doesn't mean he's got to play right away. Or even late in the first round, you can draft a guy and he's not ready to go. And then you roll out Russell Wilson out there to see what he can do.
There's not a whole lot of fits. I mean, go through the league in your head. I mean, you could say the Saints, but they paid Carr all that money. They're looking to they're looking to restructure Carr. They overpaid for him.
No.
It's not going to be the Saints. Looks like probably Tampa staying with Baker since they gave Mike Evans the big deal.
Yeah. You got the Minnesota Vikings. They're
Minnesota
out there.
Vikings. Right. What happens with Kirk Cousins?
Don't know.
Okay. There
if you can't
go.
work it out with Kirk Cousins,
then that would be a landing
maybe you call
spot.
Russell Wilson.
Yep.
I still say the Raiders, and to me, the Raiders are a fit because of who owns their team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest number one. Mark Davis, who is known, and his father was known for taking big risk on players, wanting to make a splash. First-year head coach who's a defensive-minded coach. So you hire Russell Wilson. He comes in. He's an offensive guy. And, he doesn't need the tutelage of a head coach to become good. You already know what he is, a known commodity, someone who's played in that division. To me, that's the fit. I don't know what their cap situation is, but you can figure it out. And they don't have an answer at quarterback. They've got nothing.
What about New England? Are they going to draft a quarterback with
I would think they would.
their pick?
But maybe, again, New England's that place where you draft a quarterback and then you wait. You draft a quarterback and then you sit him. Somebody's going to get Caleb Williams. Somebody's going to get Drake May. Those are the two guys. Then after that, is J.J. McCarthy? You're going to sit here and tell me with a straight face that J.J. McCarthy is ready to be an NFL quarterback right here, right now?
You're going to see people say that, yes.
Well, I would disagree with that.
I know, but you're going to say, I'm just saying you're going to see it.
I'm sure Mel Kiper, whomever else will tell me that. And I'm sure Michigan and Murfreesboro will call and tell me that. And whomever else, I'm sure Dr. Detroit will call, or our good friend intern Alex will call and let me know. Well, maybe not him. But, I don't believe J.J. McCarthy's NFL quarterback right this. Maybe he is. He can prove me wrong. I've been wrong before, but I don't see that. So could you draft J.J. McCarthy and then play Russell Wilson? Maybe.
Take our final break, come back and wrap up Monday's edition of the McFarland Show. Next here on WNSR.
Hi, I'm Jeff Fisher. Guess what? The Cats are back. The Nashville Cats will be returning to the Municipal Auditorium on April 27th in the season opener against the Minnesota Myth. There will be 5 total games played at Municipal Auditorium, with 1 additional game played up in Clarksville at F&M Bank Arena on Armed Forces Day on Saturday, May 18th. For player or dance team tryouts or tickets, log on to thenashvillecats.com.
Attention business owners. WNSR has some exciting opportunities for your business to thrive in the dynamic world of sports radio advertising. As the proud home of some of your favorite sports teams like the Atlanta Braves, Memphis Grizzlies, and more, we understand the power of sports in bringing people together and creating a passionate community. We believe that your business can become an integral part of this experience, reaching a diverse and engaged audience. Contact the WNSR sales team for an opportunity to discuss how Nashville's sports radio can elevate your brand to new heights. Whether you're interested in a specific sponsorship package or would like a customized solution, we are here to meet your advertising needs. Call 615-844-1039, 615-844-1039, or email saleswnsr@gmail.com. That's saleswnsr@gmail.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Looks like the Philadelphia Eagles are set to release one Kevin Byard. Didn't look like it ended up being a great fit.
No.
For him in Philadelphia.
Never looked comfortable at all. Wasn't quite right for him.
And they got, what, a 5th and a 6th out of it?
Yeah.
Good job.
Worked out.
By Rand Carthon.
Yeah, worked out in that case.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Okay, you heard us talking about Russell Wilson, released by the Broncos. So they've already got odds on his next landing spot, Justin, and it's some of the teams that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So I know you've seen the list. So I'm going to ask the listeners. Channel right now, close your eyes. What do you think? Who is the favorite? Who is the favorite? The favorite will be a team we didn't even mention. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the favorite to land Russell Wilson. Then a team we did talk about, the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Are next up on that list. Then the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Then the New England Patriots. Then the Minnesota Vikings. And finally, the Washington Commanders, and then everybody else is the field.
Boy, the Steelers would be.
Not even that. I forgot about that one.
The Steelers would be interesting.
Well.
That is a culture that they know how to win, and Russell Wilson's got a lot of W's under his belt. That could be intriguing if that's the way that goes. But is he a good fit culturally with what they're doing with the Steelers? The Steelers are very careful about their culture, and they should be.
Yep.
So we'll see.
We'll have a major station announcement later this week, so stay tuned for that. Enjoy the rest of your day. That's going to do it for our show today. Bill Keene will get things started at 6 a.m. tomorrow, followed by JB and the General, 9 to 11, and then us at 2 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Show, coast to coast on CBS Sports Radio.